Alright, getting things started here between Lambo, the blue Zerg in its upright side from Shopify Rebellion, and his opponent, the Rat Protoss from Africa Freaks, Trap, Senor Trap. We'll be able to showcase some of that lovely Protoss here, and Lambo, I'm sure, will showcase some lovely Zerg play as well. Lambo, a very smart player. I would assume that he's thought well and hard about this match and what type of strategies he is going to employ. Now, whether or not Trap will allow Lambo to try and get all those plans off the ground here, that's the question, of course. Looks like a fairly regular opening here from both players so far. Trap seeing that drone move past, of course, just checking to see if the third is has been taken. It is the triangular base. Maybe that's a shorter path to walk for the drone. That could be the case. Maybe that's why he picked it. Or maybe there's something else he's planning to do here. Of course, one reason why you could try to get that one is because it's just closer by to your opponent. You're going to be able to get that creep closer to their base. And that's going to allow your units to get that quicker, right? Allowing reinforcements to get that quicker. And that could mean you're planning some sort of a ground attack. But that, you know, it's not the signifier like, oh, he's going for an attack. It's just something that could benefit you if you are. So if you're taking a natural base or a third base for that matter, and your plan is already to attack, then, you know, you might want to consider taking that base instead of the other one, because that is going to be more beneficial in that situation. Otherwise, if you're defending and want to play defensively, right, the base further away probably going to be more superior in that situation. Might just be slight, but you know what? The game of StarCraft 2, it's all about finding every slight thing to improve and just keep improving everything until you're suddenly just better than everyone. Which never happened to me before, but to some players it does. Couple of Zerglings here looking to get some scouting information across the map. Trap so far not really, like, I'm trying to see. He's got the probe still out on the map, but that's about it, right? There's no adept that he's made to really keep tabs on his opponent. He's still just occupying that space with the probe. He's moving back right now. He's got a stalker, so maybe he's more preoccupied with trying to keep the scouts out rather than getting his own scouts in. With a single Stargate on the way, it's nothing too particularly something that you want to keep hidden here. We'll have to see. There is a whatchamacallit, Oracle on the way. I guess. I guess with the Stalker, if you go Stalker, usually that means that you don't have the Stargate, right? Otherwise you would just be able to get this the Void Ray and then kill the Overlords. You don't necessarily need the Stalker, and then the Adapt is just the better tool to get the scouting done. But at the same time, you know what? I don't play enough Protoss to be talking about this. To be talking about exactly what unit you want in which situation. Seen a metric ton of it, but at the same time, right, people then start mind gaming as well. If you make one of these, right, usually that means that, so you can put your opponent on the entire different track than what's actually happening. So, oh, drones, get them drones. He gets two of them. Spore Crawler now available in that natural base. Two drones. Pretty good defense there for Lambo so far. It's a little bit supply blocked, and that is a bummer. Looks like he lost one of those Overlords there due to a Void Ray coming in to clean it up. Oh, doesn't want to lose the Oracle though, of course. Gets 4 drones in total now. I think that was just 2 more added up on top of the other 2 that he got previously. So 4 drones, not bad, not bad. Keeping everything alive as well at the same time. So good start there for Trap, I would say. Reasonable position here. Drone count in favor for, or drone count, the probe count in favor for Trap Again, another Overlord does fall, but it looks like Lambo committed to not getting supply blocked again here. And some good catches on the creep too. We're seeing this creep, right? And again, look at the way he's spreading the creep. It's not really going into all directions. It's just going straight forwards. This is another indicator, right? Why would you spread your creeps in any other direction? Why would you waste time doing something like that if your plan is just to make an attack and move it across the map? And that is looking like that is a very likely situation here, with those queens pretty much already at the front door of the Protoss base. A lot of shield batteries coming up here. Trap realizing what is coming. He's only got 29 army supply, but 29 army supply with 29 shield batteries, that is still quite the difficult army to kill. More and more shield batteries. Look at that. He's making 5 of them. Absolute mad on power here. Does he have them on both sides? I guess he does need them on both sides, right? That's probably why he's making so many. Otherwise, Lambo can just pick which side he wants to attack and which side he wants to ignore, because it's got a gazillion shield batteries. Alright, the Void Rays trying to deal with the Queens. The Transfuse so far doing really well, trying to get away from the shield battery. Or the overcharged shield battery on the natural base. Now moving into the third base, trying to get something done there. We'll be able to pick off an Archon already. This is looking pretty good for Lambo here. He's doing alright. He's keeping everything alive with all of that Queen energy that he saved up. Oh, it's looking really good here for Lambo. He's moving forwards into the third base. The third base looks like that will fall. The Queen's a bit far removed from the Roaches right now, so some of those Void Rays are able to do reasonable amounts of damage, but it is taking so long to take out any of these forces. And it feels like they're just growing for Lambo with the reinforcements coming in endlessly. Look at that. That's like one Roach killed off finally again, and then 20 more Zerglings run in. Trying to get a Queen. Alright, he almost gets a Queen, but then like 4 more Roaches come in. Oh yeah, Trap. He may just have to accept what has happened here. And he's kind of realized that he got himself in a very, very awkward position. The Queen's moving back. Is Lambo looking to just kind of back up from this moment? I mean, it felt like it was in a really good position to just kind of finish off the game right here, right now. But it looks like he wants to not do that. Not do that. He wants to try and get himself back across the map, macro up a ton more, and then with the advantage that he got from killing off that third base, trying to win the game that way. Alright, alright, you know what? You gotta hand it to him. I think it's a smart call, right? You can't really see exactly how much Trap has in that natural base. We've seen time and time again Zergs being like, alright, well, I took out the third, let me try and take out the natural now as well. And then suddenly walking into just a brick wall of shield batteries and immortals and all of that stuff, because all the Protoss is doing is survival mode at that point in time. He's spending every bit he's got on just getting more defense up. And if at that point in time you just kind of stop attacking, you back up, you make a lot of drones, well then your opponent is just so far behind on the economy that it's just very difficult to make anything happen anymore, right? Look at that, 75 workers versus 46. That's all part because a Trap had to commit that much into the defense, and at that moment in time he probably was like, alright, just hopefully he keeps attacking me and hopefully I will be able to hold it. In which case I might be able to get a counter-attack going. But yeah, none of that happening here. So Trap has to find a different way around. Trying to get some damage done with the War Prism here. Doing a fair job with it. Not too bad, not too bad. Lambo's roaches on patrol still as well across the map here, trying to find whatever they can, seeing what is happening with Trap's forces. Would like to see Lambo and the mech supply try to make another run at the third base here. Looks like that is what's going to be happening. He's just trying to position himself in between the natural and the third again. I mean, it is probably the widest open area overall, freely accessible without having to go up a ramp. Oh, the War Prism! The War Prism gets taken out. I'm not sure if there were any units left inside, but if there were, well, not anymore. Rather just send Hydras, there's quite a large amount of them here. The shield battery's trying to be utilized to the fullest extent, but I mean, the supply is telling a gruesome tale here for any Protoss admirer. As the Banelings are running into some of those probes, a little bit of counter-aggression is happening across the map here, it seems, but this third base is as good as gone once again, and that's going to put Trap in an abysmal position. Once again, Trap just having to commit absolutely everything on the potential to stay alive on two bases. And meanwhile, there's just, yeah, Lambo staying on that 200 supply. Top left side, the blue Zerg Shopify Rebellion Lambo. At least in this situation, right? It's still around here. The red Protoss, bottom right. A freak of freaks, Trap. Still, sometimes, when I see that little probe running across the map, deep inside my heart, I'm like, oh, we're gonna see a proxy. It's a cannon rush. It's happening. But then you just immediately realize again, like, nah, it's just gonna be the hatchery block, isn't it? You think it favors 3 or 4 base place a little bit too much? It's really hard to attack on this map. Yeah, I guess it depends on how you would classify, right? Why it's difficult to attack. As in, like, if you were to attack, it's very likely that you'll get counter-attacked, or... Because those bases there on those high grounds, right, in the middle, they are always going to be contested, and I think that is one of the reasons why I like the map, right? Because it has those bases that are always in contention, always so close to both of these players, where they just are always fighting over it, trying to wrestle that control of those bases. And if they're like tucked away in a corner somewhere safe for someone to take, we just get less overall exciting matches, in my opinion. But yeah, from like a playing standpoint of view, right, that is something you don't really like to deal with all that much, having your bases continuously be harassed and such. They're open for aggression, really? Okay. Might be a bit because you're Zerg. Alright, alright. Yeah, I think, I don't know, man. I think this one is fairly open for attack, but maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what's going on overall. That natural base looking a little bit open, of course. Nothing there to keep it company. The hatchery he's waiting for. Really would... I mean, if Lambo just wins this game as well, that would be pretty nuts, right? Lambo usually does well at these types of events, though, to be fair. Like, he really shows up at these weird, like, out there events, right? Where it's not just him playing, but it's more like the foreigners versus Koreans or team leagues, stuff like that. I feel like that's where I usually see him shine more so, rather than just the individual tournaments. He's doing it here again, man. He took out Trap already, one map, and I'd say that is all that he needed to do, right? That's all his team really could hope for in a sense, right? Getting the 2-0, it's a possibility now, in fact, and that is quite bloody epic as well. But with Scarlet also nibbing away a victory there from stats, Shopify Rebellion making this quite the match. I don't think we'll see the Queen push here either. But also because of the bases that he's taking, right? So it's a little bit different. The creep spread as well, we're seeing, well, maybe the creep spread's still going, well, it's going more in every direction, right? He's also trying to spread in his main base, so it looks like we'll just see a more macro-focused Lambo this time around. Especially seeing all those drones. Quite a bit of drone kill here happening. 5 of them, in fact. Only 2 at depths here. Good Evo wall block right now, and we'll be able to safeguard a few of those drones. Trying to get as much as he can still. We'll be able to pick off 2 more. As many as he could get, really. So 7 drones in total. Very good pick of that for Trap. Gets a good read on what's happening in the bases of Lambo as well at the same time, of course. Sees that there's no lair just quite yet in the main or the natural, at least. And double Void Ray production from Trap. 2 more adapts out of nowhere coming in. Is there a War Prism here? What am I missing? Getting 4 more workers. Not bad at all. No, that's an Oracle. That's not a War Prism. Very solid stuff there from Trap this time around. Getting even the air weapon upgrades here. Starting to add in the Robo Bay. Oh my god, where are your queens, Lambo? Oh, losing 4 more workers here now, as well as a bunch of extra mining time. Coming back around, he knows he's going to get more if the queens didn't come to that base. They are still going to take a little bit. So finds another drone kill right there. Very good stuff for Mr. Trap once again. I like to see these small differences as well in playstyle. For somebody like Zest, we very often see him just kind of spread out those Void Rays out and in front of his bases. Trap here more so kind of keeping them clumped up and then on 2 like grouping patrols of like big areas where pushes could come from. So it's a bit more in the dark, but as soon as an attack just kind of randomly appears, he'll have a lot more firepower to immediately try to gun it down. That Oracle control quite handsome. And there come the Disruptors now. Carriers also being produced. Entire late game composition for Trap will be coming into play. And Lambo, I mean, he's making his Hydras. He's getting himself into the late game as well. But I wonder how he's going to be playing against this. At this point in time, I would say just try to get more bases up. Although those Void Rays are still patrolling the area as well. They make it a little bit more scary. I think that's kind of what you have to do. Because playing aggressively into this style, I don't know, the window to try and make something like that happen, it's going to be rapidly closing with more and more Disruptors coming out on the field. Especially if you just have the Hydra army, right? Spire will be placed down as well as the Hive Tech. So Lambo is looking to just get those higher tier units here. Try to fight fire with fire. This could be a long one, guys. This could be quite a long one. Unless if Trap just manages to get a really good fight with the Disruptors here initially somewhere, then this could be a very long game. Yeah, I don't... I guess that's the main bit, right? There's a potential here for Trap to suddenly make a really big play happen with those Disruptors. I don't think there's anything for Lambo at this moment in time to make a play happen with. He needs to wait for Vipers. He needs to, you know what, preferably I would like to see some Infestors in there as well. Get some air units out there in order to target down the carriers. But yeah, infestors would be quite nice. I'm not sure. Maybe Lambo is one of the players that prefers to have the single spellcaster, though, to be fair. I'm not seeing any type of infestor upgrade, so that's a perfectly fine way to play it as well, right? If you just not comfortable with the double spellcaster control, then that is I mean, it is really difficult to do, guys. That is, I mean, if you just have everything already set up preemptively for the battle, it's a lot easier to do. But if you continuously have to move all of those forces around and have them in a good position so they don't get picked off, don't just fly them in recklessly, stuff like this, very difficult to do. Oh, nice eye there. Lambo moving back out of the status trap. Saves a lot of those Zerglings. Still kind of rotating around. Trap not leaving his bases so far. He's committed to, you know, if we just get ourselves to a split map situation, that's going to favor me. So I'm not that worried about it. That's what it feels like to me, at least. Lambo a bit more trying to figure out where the opportunities for attacking are with those Zerglings here. Sees another base being produced. I mean, it's a heck of a lot of lings. We don't have any High Templar just quite yet for this force, do we? What happened to that base, actually? What in the world happened there? What did we miss? Oh, did he eat it with the Vipers? Did he destroy his own hatchery with the Vipers? Oh my. Right, Zerglings do find this base here, but it's gonna cost them. I think that's a kill, not a cancel. So that's good, but I guess it's just Zerglings dying, right? You can replace those with stronger units, such as the Ultralisk and the Corruptors. He has the bank to do so, but it's gonna take a while before those units are produced. Trap already moving across the map here. No time to waste. He is looking to take out a base of Lambo right here, right now. Sending in a couple of Zealots as well on a mission to take out some drones on that other base. He's doing a good job with this force so far. He's taking out all of the creep tumors. Well, most of them at least. Single Ultralisk here will be enough to clean up the Zealots, though. Ultralisk, truly the Zealot of the Zerg, isn't it? Just doesn't quite know how to... Oh my god, that was 4 queens? That was 4 queens, all with transfuse, going down quite quickly. Parasitic bomb trying to be placed on top of the carriers in the Void Race. It's dealing a little bit of damage here, but of course you're going to need quite a couple of those High Templar Archons and all of those Disruptors. They are going down quite quickly, but this Air Force, that is still standing. And it is handling itself with an absolute ungodly amount of firepower still available. And are they not going to try to take out a base? Really? I would be very... Okay, yeah. I would be incredibly surprised. I guess he's trying to get more Disruptors out, right? Making another Robo here. He's getting Immortals as well. Like, those must be a response for the Ultralisk. I don't think more Void Race would be too bad either, right? With more Void Race, they do good against the Corruptors as well as the Ultralisk. The one problem could potentially be the Viper Parasitic Bombs. Very difficult to spread out all those Void Race consistently with all the Parasitic Bombs being thrown about. While Prism, nicely caught there by Lambo, will not be causing any more problems. Couple of Corruptors there, just getting rid of it close to the main base of Lambo. More Zealots, finds some drones. Only 5 of them, so shouldn't be too bad. And then again, Lambo's drone count, not what it used to be. He's got no bank. He is maxed in supply, so his army is really strong right now. but okay, 75 drones again. Okay, it's a little bit easier, but again, it's not really an amount of drones where you can keep throwing your army into a meat grinder and keep replenishing it, right? You have to still be quite careful if you're in the 70 drone market rather than the 80. And it may not seem like that many extra, but it does definitely play entirely different. It feels very different with the rate at which you can remake those units with. Alright, trying to dodge the storms with those Corruptors. The Ultralisk just running straight forward, no time like the present. Corruptors are going to get on top of the carriers now as well. Very well done. Is going to be able to pick off a ton of them so far, as well as these Void Rays. The Storm just not enough to break down the Corruptor force. A lot of the carriers go down. Zealots find a counter-attack there on the right side as well, doing a ton of damage. Taking out 2 bases, so that makes it quite nice for Trap still. Right, it's not just him losing a lot of army, it's also Lambo losing a lot of his eco here. And, I mean, keep in mind, look at that bank for Lambo. It's not there. It's non-existent. He cannot afford to lose a lot of his economy here, because it's quite a pain for him to set it all back up again. While also being in a position where it's okay for him to take a fight and lose some units, because he'll be able to replenish it fairly quickly. Okay, finding these Zealots, that's nice. Doesn't take more damage there unnecessarily. Five Archons now, 5 High Templar as well. 6 Immortals being added into the mix. Very strange army composition here for Trap, I would say. Immortals trying to be on the forefront. Parasitic bombs not quite landing, but the Blinding Clouds do manage to do quite a bit. The Corruptor Ball is just a little bit too strong now, though. Sorry, the Archon Ball is too strong now. Look at the amount of Archons. 9 of them. Together with 7 Void Rays. That should be enough to take out those Corruptors. The Ultralisk are trying to find some safe passage away from this Protoss army. And he's waiting for the Brute Lords to come in. The Brute Lords would do well against those Archons, but of course he still needs something against those Void Rays. Does he still have enough Corruptors to keep the Brute Lords safe against the Void Rays? That is the real question right now. All the Archons moving quite far away from the Brute Lords. With the Brute Lords being shown. What is Trap's response? I mean, he took out a lot of economy, he took out a lot of bases. Look at that, 36 workers right now. Lambo hard-pressed to replenish anything, whereas Trap still sitting comfortably. GG, well played. There it is. Lambo realizes that that is not something he can continue onwards with.